Hi, I'm Rebecca from the blog and YouTube channel Moon and Magnolia, and today I'm going to show you how to make a simple, delicious, and rustic sourdough stuffing for your holiday meals. I made this bowl of sourdough a few days ago, and one of the things I want to note before we get started is that it was way overproofed. I had to leave the house unexpectedly while this was bulk fermenting, and when I came back, my dough was about as close to overproofed as you can get without being ruined. So what's important about that though is that you don't have to have perfect sourdough bread to make homemade sourdough stuffing. In fact, sometimes one of the best things you can do with bread that didn't turn out right is make something else with it, like stuffing or breadcrumbs or croutons, for example. So if you are a new sourdough baker or not, maybe you just messed up a loaf of bread somehow, you can still make a homemade sourdough stuffing. And if you don't make sourdough, you can totally make this with any crusty loaf of bread that you find at a local bakery or grocery store. So first things first, we just need to cut the sourdough into approximately 1-inch cubes. You can make them a little bit smaller than that if you prefer, but one thing to keep in mind is that the bread kind of deteriorates as it cooks and when you stir in the vegetables. So you don't want them so small that it turns into mush. You still want those cubes to maintain a little bit of their integrity. So I wouldn't go too much smaller than 1 inch, but as always, it's totally up to you and your preferences. You can see this bread is still usable, but it's just a little flat. That was because I had a hard time shaping it because it was overproofed, but we can still make delicious sourdough stuffing with this. So once I get the bread quartered, I just start chopping it up from there. You really don't have to get too technical with this, just get the bread cubed up. And one thing you might wonder, the bottom of sourdough sometimes gets a little hard and pretty crusty. So there's a couple of things about that. One, for sourdough stuffing, it doesn't really matter that much because this is going to be soaking in butter and chicken broth, and it'll really soften up. But if you find that the bottom of your sourdough is just getting too hard and burned all the time, a trick to that is to put a cookie sheet on the bottom rack of the oven underneath of your Dutch oven, and then your Dutch oven on the rack above. That will help disperse some of that heat and prevent the bottom of your bread from burning. My apologies for the technical difficulties, but here I am cubing up this sourdough. Now this bread is about 2 days old, and I recommend, if possible, making your bread slightly in advance because it's easier to cut that way. And also I think sourdough stuffing tastes a little bit better when that bread has been sitting around for a day or so. But no matter what, whenever you're slicing sourdough, whether it's for toast or for sourdough stuffing, one little trick is to quarter the boule first, and that just makes it easier to handle. So now that everything is cubed up and ready to go, it is time to toast the cubed sourdough bread. This recipe calls for a full stick of butter divided. So I am taking half of a stick of butter and putting it in my cast iron skillet and then transferring that into the oven, which is preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And I'm just letting that sit in there for a couple of minutes, 3 to 5 minutes or so, just until that butter has melted, because we are going to use that to toast the cubed sourdough bread. This sourdough stuffing recipe happens in 3 parts. It's toasting the bread, making the veggies, and then also making a broth mixture. And I'm kind of oscillating between all 3 parts while I make this, but if you are making this for a holiday meal, it's probably easier if you prep and measure everything first and then do the whole recipe. But I'm just kind of going back and forth. I'll get to the veggies in just a second. But first, what I'm doing here is I am taking the cubed sourdough bread and putting it into the melted butter and tossing it around in that butter to get it as evenly coated as possible. And then that goes in the oven for about 10 minutes to toast. Okay, so for the veggies, I have diced up 1 whole onion, and I am dicing up a lot of celery. I kind of like a disproportionate amount of celery in my stuffing, but the recipe over on my blog calls for at least 3 stalks of celery. And one little trick to this is make sure that you dice everything about the same size. So that way, when you get 1 forkful, it has all of the flavors. Now, while I was chopping that, I also took the bread out of the oven, toss it around one more time, put it back in, and I am letting it bake again for 10 more minutes to finish toasting. And while that is wrapping up in the oven, I am sauteing these veggies in the other half stick of butter. At this point in the recipe, I am seasoning with salt and pepper as I go. And that is one trick to cooking, is seasoning as you go rather than just seasoning at the very end, because that seasoning gets into the food when you season as you go. Whereas if you just put a bunch of salt on top of your stuffing, it'll just taste like salt. And now I am sauteing these until they are tender crisp. They will have to go back into the oven for about 30 minutes. So if they are not totally done, that's fine, because they have an opportunity to bake. Now that the veggies are done, I am making the broth mixture. So this is a combination of 2 whole eggs and 3 cups of chicken broth. So what I like to do is first mix up the eggs, so that way they're already scrambled and combined before I put the broth in. And this is a homemade chicken broth that I made a couple of days ago, but you can totally use store-bought broth if that is what you have. Once in a pinch, I actually used 3 cups of water and chicken bouillon, and it worked just fine. And now I am adding in the classic seasonings for stuffing, some sage and thyme. If you have fresh sage and thyme, I would chop about a tablespoon. If you're using dried herbs, I would use about a teaspoon or 2 to taste. And I am pouring that mixture right over the bread and letting it sit for 10 minutes. Now, when you pour the broth on the bread, it looks like there's too much broth, but that is because the bread is going to soak up the broth. So you can see here, after 10 minutes, there's almost no broth left in the skillet. So don't worry if it seems like there is too much. Once the broth has soaked into the bread, I'm now adding those sauteed veggies and mixing them in. And this is where you can start to really dial in the texture that you want for your stuffing. If you want big bread cubes, just gently toss the vegetables in. If you want to break that bread apart more, you can take a wooden spoon or spatula, whatever you have, and kind of mush it up. Mine took about 30 minutes in the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Your house is going to smell so good while this bakes, and once it is beautiful and golden on top, what I like to do is garnish it with freeze-dried herbs from my garden. The steam from that hot stuffing rehydrates the herbs, and it gives a really lovely fresh flavor. But if you have fresh sage from your garden, you can put that on there, or you can just leave it as is. If you are feeling inspired to kick stovetop to the curb and have some homemade sourdough stuffing for your holiday meals, head over to my blog at moonandmagnolia.com for the full recipe and instructions and printable recipe card. I will leave a link for that in the description box. Also, if you want to make sourdough stuffing, but you don't know how to make sourdough bread, I recommend downloading my free guide to making and using Sourdough Starter ebook. It is 30+ pages of how to make a sourdough starter, how to make your first loaf of sourdough bread, troubleshooting, feeding recommendations, and more. Thank you so much for stopping by today. I hope you are off to a wonderful holiday season, and I will see you again next time.